wonder if the people who made this game ever thought about or tried to get up a pipe like this. Because it's not easy.
And inside there's...
No, Piper. Piper, go here. Do not go investigating. Stay right there.
Okay, I'll be here then.
Trying to be helpful. Again, unintended consequences of things. That, of course, is not a mod. That's part of the core game. Hey, let's have the companions, if they see a package or a container, let's have them walk over and see what's inside. Yeah, but not when there's enemies around.
Ours now.
So again, you know, I'm building up my affinity with Piper, but she's gonna stay out of harm's way. It's well, I mean, it makes sense. She's a reporter. I want her backing me up. I don't want her charging in. God damn it.
Did you hear that?
Well, at least they did hear it. Boy, sometimes when they don't hear it, it just makes no sense to me. Okay. Just noise. Just the noise of an exploding turret. Okay. Well, if you guys buy that, that's fine with me. So, yeah, we're going to encounter a lot of situations like this in this concrete and metal labyrinth. It's a challenging place. It's a challenging place. Oh, did I not take the thing out? I guess I didn't. I'll have to come back in a second and do that. Gotcha. Oh, that's right. There are a couple pieces of dialogue in here that, from raiders especially, which crack me up. Which they're actually kind of clever. They're meant to try to flush the opponent, basically.
Grip on yourself.
Alright, let's see if we can get that done this time. Maybe I'm shooting at the wrong one. I don't know. There it is. How did I not take that out?
What the fuck was that?
Go this way this time. And if it's any indication, just gives any indication of how the AI works here, those raiders are not just up the hallway. They're up the hallway and around a bend and around another bend, I think. It just shows you they are detecting at quite a distance. So here, of course, is where the raiders had set up their automatic turret to prevent ghouls from coming up the pipe. A reasonable precaution. A new toy car. And, you know, can chimes. I mean, it's makes sense. And a raider down here all by himself. Stuck in probably was the shittiest position you can have here. And obviously very shitty because he didn't make it. The ghouls killed him. His compatriots didn't even care enough to go get the body. I believe that there's entries on that terminal to that effect. Machine gun, pick that up. We will advance Piper a little bit in a second. I just want to make sure that we can navigate this hallway. I believe the unofficial patch is at work here. Okay, maybe not. What I understood in the past from someone was that the can chimes actually could not be disarmed without setting them off. That they basically would just... there was no stealthy way to remove them. You'd remove them, you'd disarm them, but you didn't really disarm them. You still shook them.
Shoot. Yep.
So we'll bring Piper up just a little bit here. Get her out of the water at least.
Hope you're not thirsty.
Yeah, no thank you.
Point the way. Got it. Not going anywhere.
So again, we don't dare move her up any further. Not with this enhanced AI. She will,
Certainly seen better days, hasn't it?
she will absolutely blow my stealth in this particular location.
Always get so jumpy after a fight.
Yeah, you hear them moving around up there.
Nothing yet.
I don't think there's anything out there.
I'm tired of this one.
So up the stairs we go, careful as can be. Well, first of all, I'll tell you right off the bat that that door is not usually open. So that concerns me. That means that they were alert enough that they came through that door. I'm really concerned about them coming for me.
What the fuck was that?
Oh boy, and I missed that guy. That's nuts.
Think you can hide?
We have to turn around and recule.
Scared, huh? You should be. Back it in, boys. There's nothing out there.
Getting shook up over nothing.
All right. Somebody's still looking for me because I'm still in caution. That was the last one. There's definitely one that's more alert than the others, or at least closer to my location that keeps them more alert. Speaking of which, one thing I want to keep forgetting to do, I've got a handful of rads on me that are perfect for mutant hound chops to take care of. Mutant hound chops don't do a lot of rad reduction, but if you have just a little bit on top, you're losing. They're perfect. You just got to remember not to eat them when you're actually hungry, or else they won't do their magic trick. That guy, I can't believe I didn't hit that guy. Is it just a thing of range?
I'll find you.
Alright, there we go. Got him that time.
Who's that? Nothing.
When you turn up,
Nothing.
you're dead.
You just begin to see, you can hear exactly how many of them there are in this building. They're just around every corner. There's more raiders. This place is a veritable fortress.
I know you're here. Dumbass coward.
Now, what I like to do sometimes is bring Piper up so she can block off one of the entrances here. In other words, so people can't sneak up on behind me. My problem with that is that with the enhanced detection, I'm not so sure she'd be good at that. I think if I put her up that hallway, she's just going to blow my cover. But I have a little bit of a pickle here. My pickle is the raiders that way, down that door, and the raiders that way, coming out of those doors. If I take out the raiders in here, the raiders there will detect me. If I take out the raiders in there, the raiders here could detect me and come up behind me. So either way, potentially, I have raiders coming up behind me. Now, what are other solutions? Well, I could plant a mine. No, I can't plant a mine because, as you've seen, as we saw in Station Olivia, when you do that, that is also detected. And that's detected, in fact, that's detected as if they are seeing a grenade being thrown. Alright, well, there's no use whining about it. I'm just going to have to try to deal with it as best as I can. My gut feeling is that the raiders that are this direction tend to go up a set of stairs and get a little bit further away. So I should be safer going after these guys, and those guys won't sneak up on me quite as readily. I think that's the case. Maybe I should bring Piper up just a little bit farther. Let's see if they detect her. If they do detect her, we'll have her stop. Okay, they haven't detected her yet. That's promising. That means I may still be able to use her the way I intended.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I want you, madame, to go there.
Can do. Okay, I'll be here then.
Oh god, I really wish she would stay facing the direction I want. That is concerning to me. Because now she's essentially facing the opposite direction I want her to face. I don't know how to get her to turn around without going up there. It's just limitations of the AI. I think I'm just gonna very gingerly move my way up here. Hopefully now, there's an oil slick over here. I gotta be very careful of this. Holy smoke, there's a debris over there. Well, this will do that. We get Piper back in a second, hopefully. Well, at least we didn't set off the oil slick. So I was wrong, so those... And notice they completely ignored her. Just walked right the frick by her and came after me. That drives me a little bit crazy. And she didn't do a thing either. Didn't lift a finger to help me. Nothing. I mentioned it before. What I wouldn't give in this game for just a little scripting dialogue with the for the companions, something I could pull up in dialogue and just say, you know, attack enemies when you detect them, don't attack enemies, stay in stealth, you know, simple things like that. They've had those kind of things in other games for literally decades. I really wish we had something like that here. But boy, are they finding me real quick. Alright, and that is why we go downstairs. Come on, Piper. Help me out. They come... Piper is stuck in combat with the Raider. And something else is blowing up. Wow, okay. That is why we stay down here. There are there are a lot of big explosions happening up there that I am very, very unequipped to deal with. Alright, I think I might need to help Piper out here. Oh, maybe not. See, that drives me crazy. What the heck? What the heck is she doing? What the heck is she doing? Just sitting down there, facing the wall. Alright, I'm calling her back.
Got it. Not going anywhere.
Keep your eyes open. I think this asshole's using a stealth bullet.
It's just, it's bizarre. It is bizarre to me. There's some kind of rule that basically, I understand again why it's being done, because the idea is,
Yep. Shout if you need me.
if they're neutral, if you tell them to stay, it means you don't. The presumption is if you tell them to stay, it means you don't want them to blow your stealth. So don't shoot at anything and aggro anything. Okay, I get that. But that's not always why you tell someone to stand somewhere. Sometimes you tell someone to stand somewhere because you want them to guard your ass. The only way she can guard me is basically to distract raiders and have them shoot at her instead of me. She doesn't fight back frequently. And it's just very weird to me. Sometimes she does. Sometimes she doesn't. I think. Okay, yeah, there's still a guy over there. Let's see if there's anybody else in here. There might be another one in here besides that one. There was at least one other I know came out of that door.
What the fuck was that?
Yep, sure enough. 2 raiders. Thought so. Another thing that is sometimes can kill you in here, if you're not careful, these little industrial, I don't even know what you call these things, these little metal racks or that kind of bars that kind of hang out. Very good for catching guns, very good for getting in the way of bullets that you thought were a clear shot. Very good at, as always, any interior space, very good for catching grenades and making them fall. Not where you wanted them to, but right next to you. So, these things are dangerous. Alright, so we've got 1 raider and 1 machine gun turret in there to deal with. And there's the raider. Kind of. Oh, there are 2 of them. I was wrong. will just see their leg over there. There we go. That's what we want.
Denied.
Just make sure we don't get caught on that door, like I said.
Only a fucking coward hides.
Here we go. I realize that in here I'm not my usual talkative self, but of course, as you can see, I'm dealing with some stuff here. Once again, I am hungry. Luckily, I have plenty of that. I had plenty of that iguana on a stick. That's a hell of a metal leg. What the heck is? Is that regular metal? Is that a heavy metal? Heavy metal. Is that a heavy metal armor? I'm not familiar with that.
God damn it.
Okay, there's a raider, and
This is really bad.
that is more or less. Well, there's actually another threat in here, but it's not immediate. So I'm careful. Definitely want that used oil can. One of the things in here that is important to remember is that while you're in here gathering stuff, you're gathering stuff to give to our friends in... Oh, and here we go. I'm carrying too much and I cannot run. You're gathering stuff to give to your friends back at Ten Pines. So when I'm gathering goods that I can then reassemble into turrets for them and stuff I can arm them with. Yep, they had a Molotov, so got to be aware of that. Why, this looks like the kind of thing that you would have at Cambridge Polymer Labs. I do so wonder whether I could use it for that. Drinking glass. I also wonder if it blows up. I bet you some of it does. Now, the aforementioned threat is about to emerge from underneath this machinery. Like that. I don't know. This seems to me that there's some... Oh, that was a little disturbing. Seems to me there's some serious downsides to this place as a base. Ghouls constantly coming in through the basement. No, you stay there. I don't trust you. I think those are the ones that come out of there, and what I want now is to... I'm trying to remember if there are any more raiders in here. Well, obviously the tanks that were in here went off. That's one less thing I got to worry about. I think they took out... Yeah, they took out the light.
That's in better shape than I...
Radaway and a kickball.
expected.
Oh, took out that one too. So I don't know. I may have... I don't know whether Piper did it by accident or whether she did it on purpose, but whatever that explosion was, I think it took out a couple more of these raiders. That guy was just sitting there contemplating his chem box. Probably waiting for his break. When do I get a break and I can take my chems? There we go. Just chemical money. That's what mostly they are to me. I have to be pretty damn desperate before I'll use a chem. I mean, I've done it in the past, but like I said, I have to be pretty damn desperate. So let's see, anybody in here? No, I think they would have been eliminated long before now. Okay. I don't like to go up these stairs because there's a radiation barrel, a radioactive material barrel just underneath there, and you always take rads as you move up there. Plus, it brings you out in a relatively vulnerable place, so I tend not to go that direction. Somehow I didn't get material from this guy. But there's a much better route to take, which we're going to do now. We're going to collect Piper. Still can't get over the size of that metal leg. It seems way bigger than any metal armor I ever put on. Cushion harder. Oh, I guess that's that's a raider leg. That's a crazy thing. It looks like it should protect better than it does. Let me just look at it. Yeah, see, all of that, it protects 5.5. Come on. It's ridiculous looking. Alright, Piper. This is as far as you go for now.
Shoot. Of course.
My personal biographer, Piper Wright. Don't put the Bard into combat, folks. Don't put the Bard into combat. Bard is not a frontline fighter. Usually... Ah. There's somebody over there. Usually there's a conversation that takes place in this particular area. I think that because they detected me at some point and those explosions drew more fire, I think we broke up that conversation before it ever happened. Okay.
What the hell was that? Show your face. Come on. Only a fucking coward hides.
Alright, well, while they're telling me I'm a coward for hiding, I'm going to offload some things onto Piper. As we have discussed before, I cannot offload my grenades as much as I want to because I'm terrified that she will actually use them, or attempt to use them. She won't use them correctly, but she'll use them. She'll use them on an enemy that I'm engaged in melee with, potentially. I've seen it happen, folks. I've seen it happen. Tin cans. I know you're like, why are you carrying all these tin cans? Because Ten Pines is actually very, very metal poor as a settlement. I want to make sure that they have enough stuff.
Oh, I know you're here. I'll find you.
Alright, my caution hasn't really gone down appreciably. Although this is the particular area where it's not
No need to hide. It'll all be over
because of the particular layout of this place, enemies will often detect you, but they don't go down the stairs. They kind of
Scared him off.
they wander around their own level, if you will, looking for you when you're not even there. Like, for instance, we can hear people walking around up there on metal plates and whatnot. They're not down here. Now, ultimately, our goal is up there. But I kind of want to clear the way for us to get out before then. And what I mean by that is there's a front entrance out of this place, which we saw, of course, on the way in. And I want to clean it out. It's not down here. I just want to run down here real quick and check out to see if there's any other enemy. Yeah, there is somebody up there. Oh, there. Now we back off, back off, back off, back off, back off. See if there's anybody else over there. This, by the way, if you...
This is bullshit.
This is a prime example of kind of crazy... let me back up. Something I've mentioned in the past. You know, if you approached Fallout 4 from the moment you first got it, first time you played through it, did you approach it, as I did, like a video game? You know, and when I say like a video game, I mean... there's certain assumptions in an open world game with like a main quest line and other quest lines that you're like, oh well, I mean this, you rescue Preston and his group, and then he gives you a quest, and you're like, I am only merely 4th or 5th level, but I am just going to assume that this quest is the appropriate level for me, and I'm going to go do it. Not really. This doesn't really work out well in this particular game, because this is the quest that he will send you on. You know, it's not guaranteed to be here, but look at that, there it is.
Where'd that little fucker go?
Forgot about that one. So we'll retreat a bit. You notice, however, that I've gotten my marker for the quest marker for the enemy that I actually have to kill. Just take a refreshing drink of water. But yeah, this is the quest that typically, again, because of the way the radiant system works, it's not always guaranteed that it'll be here, but it's very likely it will be here.
I'll make it nice and quick.
And this for a 5th level or 6th level character is nuts. This is nuts. This is just a crazy, crazy thing to be asking them to do. And I did it the first time. I'm like, well, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to help them out, so I build some, affinity with this, start building affinity with this faction, etc. And I died so many times in here. So many times. Well, not the least of which I didn't know about the secret entrance. So I walked through the front door. And oh, when you walk through the front door, it's a slaughterhouse. I do like these little conversations the raiders have with each other. Again, it indicates that they have a little bit of an interior life, which is interesting, even though they're, murderers and thieves. So, yeah, so where we want to go... Oh, wow. They came as far as opening that door. How about that? That's surprising. I mean, saves me the trouble of opening the door myself, but wow. That's, again, that's something I've never seen before. The vanilla enemies will not do that.
shit. Fucking pay for that. This is bullshit. Come out and fight. Nothing. When you turn up, you're dead.
Alright, I'm hearing enemies from different directions, so I'm going to retreat. Because I don't like being caught with enemies coming from more than one direction.
Only a fucking coward hides.
Oh, I know you're here. I'll find you.
Now, if you wonder why I was advancing there while I was still in caution,
Keep running.
I'm trying to use the audio to get a beat on what direction that voice was coming from. And that does actually work.
This ain't good.
It's not perfect,
What is it?
but it does work to some extent. Aha! Come on.
Think you can hide?
Keep checking out the body and you'll keep getting more bodies.
I know you're here.
Come on
Jet
out.
will make you jittery.
I'll make it nice and
Spread out.
quick.
Find him.
You can trust me.
No need to hide. It'll all be over soon.
So Piper and I will just kind of hang out here and wait for things to calm down. There we go. Okay, things have calmed down.
Damn.
Somebody else is looking at the body.
Shit. I'll find you.
Damn it, missed that one. That was kind of an opportunistic shot. Probably should have done that one. Oh, there we go.
Did you hear that?
Scared, huh? You should be.
Oh man, they're kind of bobbing and weaving past that window. I don't like that. Okay. Don't like that at all.
Show your face. Come on. I dare you.
That window is great and not great for me because it gives me a perfect little spot to get them, but there you see how fast they're going past it. I would really, in a way, I'd prefer them to
You
come out.
turn up, you're dead.
I would. Come on.
What the hell was that?
Damn it. There we go. Took a couple of shots, but
Hiding from me? Gotcha. Only a fucking coward hides. You getting shook up over nothing.
yeah, the whole gotcha. I love that one. But I am gonna back off, just in case. Just in case one of the ones from upstairs come down the stairs. Better safe than sorry, folks. Better safe than sorry. Alright, hidden again. Why am I taking that extinguisher? Mainly because I want to get it off the ground so it doesn't explode on me, potentially. That was what I was mainly worried about there. Having something explosive that I'm walking by constantly makes me intensely nervous. Alright, I can hear the guys upstairs. But they haven't detected me yet. Somehow Piper knows what I'm doing. Even from over here, she knows. And I am tired. It's taken me a long time to get in here. Get to these guys. See my my wrath here. Wrath of the Minutemen reborn, if you will. And a part of me wonders as I'm doing all this, again, thinking, trying to put myself in, a microscope in a Corvega factory. I suppose it's not unusual. You know, while Thomas is doing all this stuff, is he just taking his mind off the thing that he keeps reeling around in his head, just like this? And I don't mean to keep, you know, harping on it. I know I repeat myself some of these topics, but I think it's important. He would be certainly thinking about, in terms of role playing, he'd be thinking about this stuff, and he wouldn't be able to get it out of his head. If your son was kidnapped and you saw, you know, like, somebody, you think they're like, I guess that's my son, and they're 10 years old. You've missed 10 years of their life. I mean, it's pretty awful. It really would be pretty awful. It would be really shake you up. I hate these things.
What the fuck was that?
That's right, there's a guy in here. I think there's a guy in here. I think there's a guy who's here is like taking a leak. Wait, I'm carrying too much and I can't run? I thought, no.
Well, make you did it.
Let me look at that. I don't believe that. I think that I have over encumbered. Oh, because I'm tired. 153, tired. Oh, no, I'm peckish. That's what it is. Once again, I am peckish.
Here.
Guess she was right.
Now am I? I'm still over encumbered. 167 to 167. That doesn't sound right. Well, I mean, I can always drop something. I have a lot of junk here, some of which I don't need. I don't really need this extinguisher. It's ridiculously heavy.
What the
Oh
hell
wow,
was that?
I'm again carrying something I can't.
Getting shook up over nothing.
Yeah, see, they're upstairs and it sounds like they're down here and it's driving me frickin' crazy. Sometimes there is a raider in here. But this time no. Still carrying too much. This seems weird. It doesn't feel like I actually am. So why is it telling me this? 190. 196 to 195. Okay, well, I guess I'm dropping some more things. I can certainly do that. Or giving some things to Piper, actually, now that I've opened this area up. I guess I am legit over encumbered. Okay. Oh, I know something else I can drop here. I truly am a pack rat in this game, folks. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I did want to hold on to at least a little. Let me see if I have any weapons I don't need. Oh yeah, these things. I don't need those. I'm never using them. Not in a million years. But yeah, we've now cleared I've now cleared a path for us to the front of the building, which is going to be very, very, very handy. And give Piper a few things to carry around for us. That should be more than enough to build a couple of defense turrets for good old Ten Pines Bluff when we get to that point.
Where to?
And by the way, we're not just building defenses for Ten Pines Bluff. I'm gonna improve their life. This is only the beginning, but and again, what I intend to do
Okay, I'll be here then.
is I'm gonna do most of my building kind of, because building is, you know, a lot of kind of adjust something again, you know, move something, build something, go back, get some more materials. It's, you know, I might not do all of that or most of that on the stream, but I will definitely be, as we're developing these settlements, my intention is to kind of fall into a pattern here where it's like, you know, get the quest, do the quest, get the loyalty of the settlement, and then build it out at some point, and then show it off at the beginning of the next session. So, you know, we'll end a session with me at Ten Pines Bluff, and then probably pick it up at Ten Pines next time, saying, hey, this is what I did at Ten Pines. This is what it looks like now. So I get a kick out of that. I love the settlement building. Again, for roleplay reasons, I didn't start doing it right away in this game. But now that we're in it, I personally am enjoying that part of the game a lot. I'm going to enjoy it. All right, so here we are. Now our target is a raider named Jared, I believe. If we can certainly help it, we're not going to fight Jared. What we're going to do is do something we've done already a couple times, and that is turn on that Protectron over there. So here we go. Stealthy as much as we can, and the game plays the big impressive look at our graphics music. All right, you see that one? That is an inside joke of the greatest order. And for those of you who don't know, GURPS is not an actual word. It is an acronym for a role-playing game, a pen and paper role-playing game that dates back to the 80s. It stands for Generic Universal Role-Playing System. It's a fun role-playing system created by Steve Jackson Games. And way back in the early days when the original creators of Fallout were conceiving of the game, they were looking to partner with they wanted it to be a role-playing game on a computer. That was their kind of goal. And they wanted to kind of bolt on a role-playing system onto the game. They said, well, how do we decide how the character levels and what they can do? And someone knew of GURPS. They were a role player, pen and paper role player, and they said, oh, like, there's this game I play, it's called GURPS, let's see if we can do it. Unfortunately, it never really worked out for them, which I think certainly was a great loss for Steve Jackson Games. And there's a lot of stories about, you know, why the deal didn't go through, whose fault that was, etc. I'm not going to get into that. But it was in the original DNA of Fallout. In fact, the special system that we see in the early Fallout games, that continues at least in some form here, was based very much around similar concepts as GURPS. And so it is a little Easter egg of the highest order to put GURPS in here as a password possibility. That I cannot tell you how much that pleases me to see that in there. I've never seen it before. That's hilarious. Probably isn't the password, but let's try it. Oh, well, actually, it has one of the letters. Well, maybe then this is it. No. It's becoming more likely that it's a U. Unless there's nothing else with a U in here. Oh, there is, right there. We're looking at it. So could it be human? No, it's not human. Alright, well, we're not going to take a risk of that. Oh, come on. Oh, damn it. Why didn't I... One of the things that drives me nuts is when it takes you out of caution to hack the terminal. I better get this on this time, or else I'm gonna have to back off. Okay. So it can't be that. There's nothing in common. Oh boy. Oh, folks, I'll tell you, this is the stuff that drives me crazy. It could be the E. Wow. So it's not the E. Alright, we need to...
Nothing. At least it sure as hell looks that way.
Alright, so I've gone back into hidden, which is good. But boy, that was unnerving for a second. I usually don't have this much trouble guessing a password on a novice terminal, so that's a little unnerving. Taking way too long. I spent too much time talking about GURPS. So let's see. Let me go back to my usual methodology now that I'm not distracted. Okay, so there's one that we know is not anywhere. Okay, Dunes is 2. There we go, finally. So we're just going to activate the unit.
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
What the fuck was that?
Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
Oh man, come back! I was having fun!
Do not make any further escape attempts, lawbreaker.
Now, usually, I don't have to do a damn thing. But at the very least, the Protectron sets off the oil. Now, they seem to be having a lot harder time with him. Oh, a bullet flew my way. That's not good. Oh, wow, they took him out. That is rare. That is rare. It is very rare for them to take out the Protectron. Usually, he just deals with the problem for me. Alright, there he is. He's almost dead. Boy, is he close to dead. And there we go. Problem solved. It is possible for me to go up there and grab some of the loot.
Gotcha! I must have a concussion. I'm fucking seeing things.
There are more up there. You hear the other ones. I'm not going in there because they're like, it's like a rats. They're like rats in a warren up there, and they have a tendency to pop out. It's not worth it. There's nothing up there that is worth going up there for, to be honest. If there was any kind of like substantial skill books or anything,
What can I do? Of course.
90% sure that there isn't anything like that up there. So there they are. They're just up there complaining about it. But hey, you know what? I don't need to deal with it. It's it appeals to me, the idea of, you know, taking out their leader and then just disappearing like a ghost. They don't even know what hit him. But almost certainly they will be broken after this. Alright, now, if we did our job here, and we took out everybody in the entrance, we should be okay. If we didn't, this could get bad very quickly.